Introducing IFRS Consolidation Extension for SAP Analytics Cloud. In this video, we will be going through a high-level overview of the consolidation process. This will cover the following areas: uploading the trial balances of all your companies, generating the opening balances of your balance sheet, calculating the net variation of your balance sheet movements and other specific flows, preparing and executing detailed currency conversion. Keep in mind that this goes beyond the SAP Analytics Cloud native capabilities, whereas we convert per flow and calculate CTA. Also, we can conduct currency translation based on global rates or entity-specific rates. Managing your group ownership structure. Running the intercompany matching to reconcile differences. And ultimately, executing the consolidation process to generate the consolidated financial statements.
Of course, you can run all the mentioned processes with just one click. The all-in-one data action trigger. However, in this video, we will execute each step individually and show you the results.
The statement of financial position and profit and loss statement both have no data for December. So, we start by importing the trial balances of all the companies from all the source systems. We select the version, the entities and date for our import, then click Run. A separate video describes how to conduct mapping and transformation when dealing with multiple charts of accounts and heterogeneous source systems. Once the upload is concluded, the statement of financial position and the statement of profit and loss, for each company, are stored on the consolidation model in the local currencies of each respective company. We can now generate the opening balance for these companies' balance sheet statements. This will take the previous year-end closing balance and post it on the opening flow of current year's months. Then, we execute the calculation of the net variance flow, which is basically the difference between the sum of the opening with all the movements against closing. Now, our statement of financial position has the opening values, movements, closing and net variance. Also, a specific flow in the retained earning has the year-to-date value of the net income from the profit and loss statement.
We can look at the same data from this ad hoc report. Last year-end closing versus current year opening. Balance sheet closing values in local currency of each company. Profit and loss per entity. Balance sheet opening, movement, net variance and closing per entity. Intercompany balance sheet transactions for each entity with respective partners. The intercompany profit and loss transactions as well. Investment breakdown between the investor and respective investees. And intercompany dividends paid.
In the prior step, we generated the financial statements. The values were in the local currency of each entity. We can now enter the global currency conversion rates for each reporting currency. These rates will be automatically stored in the rates model, which is the driver model for currency conversion logic in the consolidation model. Execute the global currency conversion data action trigger. To automatically convert the financial statements from the local currencies of the companies to any desired set of our reporting currencies. Notice that each movement in the balance sheet was converted with its assigned rate for the currency, and a currency translation adjustment has been generated for each account on a specific flow. We can add as many rates and as many currencies as we need, without writing a single line of code. It is simply achieved through assignment.
If some of the entities have unique conversion rates, we can use the entity-specific rate. We first unpublish the currency converted values. Enter the rates for each currency for the entities with unique rates. Save and publish the entity-specific rates in the rate model. And then we trigger the entity-specific currency conversion data action trigger. The system will first convert the financial statements of these specific entities using their corresponding entity-specific rates, and then convert the financial statements for the remaining entities using the global currency rates.
Prior to running our consolidation, we need to manage the ownership structure. This is the Ownership Manager interface. Through it, we can create as many scopes and subscopes as we need. to add companies to a consolidation scope. We first select the scope. Then click on Add Remove Entities. Select the entities from the list and click on the right arrow. The entities are added to the scope. Now we can assign the consolidation method from the drop-down, whether it's the holding, full method, proportionate method, or equity method. Assign the consolidation percentage and the ownership percentage. We do the same for the remaining and save. Then publish. The same is done for the subscope. A separate video shows how to create, update, and delete scopes through this interface, in addition to copying ownership data across months and other features.
Prior to running the consolidation, and even before managing the ownership structure, we might want to conduct intercompany matching for faster reconciliation. By triggering this logic, the system will match the intercompany transactions between the entities. This ensures that each entity can check and match what their partner companies have booked against them, and reconcile the differences rapidly. These differences can be booked, per account, on the seller, buyer, or whoever has the positive or negative difference. The audit trails in the columns labeled their liabilities, expenses, and their assets, income, show what the partner companies booked against our company.
After checking the intercompany matching results, or even without it, we proceed to run the consolidation process. This process will take the consolidation method into consideration. Each method has a specific set of automated eliminations and adjustment rules. As we go through this ad hoc report, we can see that the system eliminated the investment by the holding company in each subsidiary, and in turn, eliminated the capital and other equity accounts, adjusted the retained earning, and declared non-controlling interest or minority interest. Dividends paid, that were present in the profit and loss statement, were also eliminated, with two leg offsetting entries in retained earning and investment. The profit and loss statements also gets its share of automated adjustments. Each set of intercompany accounts was also eliminated and the clearing account reflected any residual values. The same applies for the profit and loss intercompany transactions. Here, we see the investment breakdown with eliminations per subsidiary, and all the automated eliminations and adjustments impacting the equity accounts. For entities designated with equity method of consolidation, only a portion of the net income equivalent to the ownership percentage is reflected in the account named share of P&L of associates and JVs accounted for using equity method. And for the balance sheet, only the equity section, which is subject to equity pickup rule, and the revaluated investment, are shown.